Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about the astrology for the full moon happening in the sign of Pisces. So let's get started. Now, full moons, generally speaking, are this point where energy is full. The energy completes itself. So they represent completions. They represent endings. They represent a moment of culmination, things coming to their high point. It's also an energy that can lead to emotional release. It's an emotionally charged energy as well. So emotions can run high on a full moon. Generally speaking, that's what a full moon represents. Now, this one is in the sign of Pisces. That's Pisces and that's the moon. You can see this moon's at 7 degrees of Pisces. Now, Pisces is a sign that is the last sign of the zodiac. So it represents a cycle completing itself. It represents endings. It represents the subconscious. It's also the sign of spirituality and music and creativity and design, that sort of thing. So on a collective level, right, on a broader theme, these themes are highlighted. Maybe this moon brings some sort of cycle completing itself, some sort of closing out, some sort of ending, right? And with an ending, perhaps a glimpse of a new beginning. But this is about closing things out. This is about cycles completing themselves. This can also touch upon our subconscious mind, our subconscious thoughts, our subconscious energies, right? It's also a moon that can highlight creativity and music and design on a collective level. That being said, let's talk about the aspects that this moon is making. So the most important aspect this moon is making is a conjunction to Saturn. This right here is Saturn, and Saturn is a serious planet, right? It's about decisions, it's about commitments, it's about long-term planning, it's about being serious, it's about working hard, it's about persistence, it's about discipline. So all those themes come along with this moon, right? Being persistent, being disciplined, working hard, following that path, not giving up, right? Persistence. So these are the big themes highlighted here. Saturn can also ask for long-term plans, right? Yes, you're working towards something, but what's the long-term vision for that? What's your planning for that? How are you going to get there? Right? What's your decision? If you've been thinking about something, what's your decision? Are you going ahead with it? Are you not going ahead with it? So Saturn brings this kind of dialogue where it asks us to become mature, right? It asks us to lay out our plans in a very systematic, organized manner and then work towards those plans in a dedicated, disciplined, persistent manner. So these are the big themes that are coming to light with Saturn next to the moon. So whatever these cycles that are closing out are, it comes along with something serious. It comes along with deciding things. It comes along with being willing to work hard and being persistent, right? Not giving up. So that's the big theme of this moon. And this moon is also in a quincunx to Mars, and Mars is the planet of action. It's the planet of taking initiative, right? So whatever it is, there is this element of maybe taking action, right? Whatever the plans are, maybe acting on them a little bit. At the same time, I do want to mention we have a lot of retrograde energy, right? A lot. We have, I'll show you, so many planets in retrograde right now. We have Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, Chiron, Uranus, Venus, Mercury, all in retrograde. And retrograde means review. Retrograde means going back to the past. Retrograde means feeling slightly stuck. Retrograde means feeling like things are not moving, right? And while we have this retrograde energy, which is feeling a little slow, which is asking us to review the past, which is asking us to take a second look at things we've already worked on, we have this moon, which is about closing cycles. Perhaps it ties in together that while we are reviewing, right, and we have been in review for a while now. Venus went retrograde 23rd July, Mercury, I believe 23rd August. So the review, especially with Venus, has been on for over a month now, and it's just about to get over. So maybe this is the point where after all the review, we are ready to close things out a little bit, right? We've figured things out more than we knew before Venus went retrograde July 23rd. So perhaps with so many retrogrades and the review that we've been doing and have done over the past over the past month or so, now is the point where we might be ready to maybe close certain things out. So there's that energy of feeling slow, feeling stuck as well, while this energy with this moon in Pisces is bringing out chapters closing, chapters ending, right? Commitments, persistence, dedication. So those are the main highlights that I wanted to speak about, and a few more things I want to talk about. First of all, speaking of retrogrades, let's talk also about when the energy will start moving forward a little bit. So Venus here will move direct 3rd into 4th September, depending on your location. So that's probably next Sunday into Monday, right? So a few more days of Venus retrograde, and then we'll feel a slight relief. But as Venus goes direct, Jupiter will go retrograde. But Venus is a personal planet, so we feel it more intensely. So we'll feel a slight forward movement, of slight feeling of things picking up pace, maybe 3rd, 4th September onwards. But Mercury will get out of retrograde 16th September, I believe. And that's when the other personal planet will move forward. So that's when things will start to feel like they're moving forward a bit more. So I just wanted to touch upon these things because it's important, because for the past month with Venus retrograde, a lot has come under the scanner, a lot has been put up for review, especially with finances, relationships, self-worth, values, skills, pretty much all the important things, right? A lot of review, a lot of revisiting the past, a lot of thinking things over and figuring out how we want to move forward with these things that happened in our past. Maybe gaining closure from them, maybe understanding them a bit more, that sort of thing. And another thing I want to talk about is the fact that these retrogrades came right after, the Venus retrograde came right after or during the week we had big changes. So 17th July, the nodes changed signs. North Node, South Node. They change signs once in about 18 months, and they change signs. So themes shifted. End July, Pluto here squared the nodes. Endings, things completing, things changing. That change kicked in end July. And between that energy, Venus went retrograde. So in my previous videos, I had mentioned that there's this mixed feeling, right? Things are changing, but it feels stuck. So I just wanted to touch upon that since that change of the nodal shift, themes shifting, and Pluto square the nodes, karmic closing outs, karmic endings, karmic beginnings, we've been in retrograde energy, we've been in review mode. So September 16th onwards, when both personal planets, Mercury and Venus, are direct, and slowly as the year progresses on and more planets go direct, things will really start to pick up pace. So that's another thing I wanted to mention, and that's pretty much it for this video. So if I had to sum it up, I would just say that there's a lot of retrograde energy right now. So if you're feeling things are a bit slow, if you're feeling a little stuck, it's okay. It's the energy. It's asking us to review the past. It's asking us to take a second look at the past and figure out what's working, what we want to take with us in the future, what we want to leave behind. So it's a process, and mid-September it will get easier. And for this moon, it's a powerful moon. It's asking us to stay dedicated, stay persistent, stay committed. It's asking us to think with a long-term vision in mind, and it's asking us to close chapters, right? To be willing to let go, Pisces, to be willing to surrender. Because we've been in review, right? Maybe we figured out, maybe there are certain things that we might need to let go of. And this moon is bringing about that completion point of maybe being willing to let go. So I hope you enjoyed this video and it was useful in some way. And one more thing I do want to mention before we move on is that a few days before this moon, Uranus also went retrograde, right? So we might have felt a shift in energy, maybe 28th, 29th August, because that's when Uranus also went retrograde. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was useful for you. And now I will see you in my next moon video. Have a great day. Bye.